China has left behind a sand-eating machine in the desert, whose achievements will leave you astonished. Friends, 30 years ago, 20% of China's total land area was covered by desert, which has now increased to 32%. This means that 1/3 of China is barren, and the worrying thing is that China's deserts are growing at an ever-increasing rate each year. 18% of the remaining land has already reached the DPR, desertification potential rate, which could turn into desert at any moment. Due to the expanding desert, rural areas in China are becoming vacant, and cities are becoming overcrowded. Not only that, but barren land is also causing China's average temperature and global warming to rise. Even in residential cities like Beijing, sandstorms are occurring twice a month. Additionally, due to the decrease in arable land, agriculture in China is being affected, resulting in an economic loss of 54 billion yuan, approximately 33,760 crores, each year. If this trend is not stopped, by the year 2100, more than half of China will be turned into desert, and by 2400, the entire country will be devastated. To prevent this, Chinese scientists have been tirelessly researching and developing a desert management technology that has even made America take notice. The key component of this technology is the sand-eating machine Jumong 301, which is transforming millions of acres of desert into lush forests. Before we learn how Chinese scientists managed to halt the spread of their deserts, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's just a 2-second task for you, but it helps us a lot. Friends, the issue of desert encroachment is not just a headache for China. Due to changing weather patterns, pollution, global warming, and climate change, deserts are expanding all over the world. The world's largest desert, the Sahara, has already reached 11 countries in its expansion and will soon cover more countries. The UN has issued a warning that by 2050, the Sahara Desert in Africa will expand by up to 6,000 square kilometers, displacing 135 million people. In the US, 30% of land has already turned completely into desert. Fortunately, plants have prevented the spread of India's Thar Desert. While facing challenges in China, the government has sought the help of renowned scientist Qian Yuzhen, who suggested adopting reforestation techniques by studying deserts worldwide. This involves planting trees in numbers on desert land to create an ecosystem, especially at the boundaries, to reduce the desert's expansion. Without boundaries, sand can travel 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, making nearby areas barren within a few years. The saying, "We will drown love and take you down with us," fits here. You might suggest building artificial walls around the desert, but it's impractical to build walls over millions of kilometers. No matter how high a wall you build, it won't control climate change. Therefore, the Chinese government, with the help of some farmers, started planting trees that can thrive even in deserts. However, due to light sand, these crops can fall during gentle winds, and if a dust storm occurs, months of hard work can be wasted in minutes. The Chinese authorities realized they would need to plant millions of trees at a fast pace so that even if 80% fall, 20% would secure the ground. This was impossible with manual labor, so they created robotic machines that can dig deep holes while pulling in soil, excelling in planting. After a few months, changes began to show in the desert, and one of the best machines is the Jumong 301. This giant robot follows a 3-step process to change the landscape of China's desert areas. The first step is automatic seeding. Operators place seeds and plants in the machine, and its artificial intelligence technology navigates it to areas of the desert that are better suited for planting. It digs a hole and plants the seeds automatically. Just leave these robots in several acres of land, and they will work wonders, planting trees and seeds across the area in a few hours. Its second job is stabilization. It's not just about survival. There are also dry trees that require less water, which can be planted in the desert. But for miles across the barren land, such trees and plants are not visible because the sand here is quite fine. In this case, the roots of these trees and plants cannot hold onto the ground. Here, Jumong 301 shows its second feat by digging a hole in the ground, adding rice husk, and also a sand-fixing agent, which is a chemical that can help strengthen the sand. Gradually, it transforms into soil. The interesting thing here is that Jumong 301 robot stabilizes the sand 10 times better than manual labor, as its technology, power, and techniques are far superior to that of a human. The third step is paving the sand grid. In the desert, sandstorms continuously come, pushing these plants and weakening their roots, or, you could say, uprooting them. This is why the desert land keeps expanding. However, Jumong 301 creates a grid of squares in the desert, which prevents the strong winds from blowing the sand away. When such a structure is built around the plants, they also receive protection. You can gauge how advanced and powerful Jumong 301 is from the fact that in April 2024, Chinese authorities conducted a field experiment with this machine in the Kabuki Desert, where Jumong 301, equipped with more than 30 mechanical devices, not only stabilized the sand but also planted 159 suko, trees in just 20 minutes over 1 acre of land. Interestingly, this machine has so much strength that it can work 24 hours a day without stopping or maintenance for a month, allowing it to plant trees and seeds over 2,000 acres of land in just 1 day. Furthermore, if sand stabilization and grid making work is also to be done, it can cover 200 acres in a day. China has not only built one machine, but has created an army of dozens of Jumong 301s, which will plant trees in 300,000 acres of desert in the next year, turning the land into arable land and transforming it into a lush forest. The key point is that in the beginning, Jumong 301 will only work on the borders of the desert. That is, it will plant trees and plants on the borders, and if this work is successful, the spread of deserts in China will be halted, which in itself will be a significant achievement. Additionally, the sandstorms that come in China will also decrease, and this machine will set an example for the world. Because of these qualities, it is referred to as the sand-eating machine in China, and if this technology succeeds, in the coming years, it will be that while dusty storms used to blow, sandy storms will become negligible. This is because the more solid the sand is, the faster winds will not be able to blow it away, and at the same time, the mulch applied on top and the plantation being done will cause the desert to lose its qualities and start transitioning into a green ecosystem. Although this process will take a few decades, when it comes to preventing the country from being devastated, working for a few decades is not a big deal. Moreover, another indirect benefit for China will be that more trees will generate more oxygen and reduce carbon dioxide, which will mitigate the threat of global warming and climate change. Seeing this capability, now countries like Saudi Arabia, Africa, and America also want to purchase this machine, for which they have already started discussions with China. So that's it for today. Now, please let us know in the comments whether India should use this technology from China to develop ecosystems in parts of its Thar and Kutch deserts or not. I hope you liked this video. If yes, please like and share to reach 5,555 likes, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the nearby bell for more interesting videos. Thank you.